I think 2025 was the year when we really transformed strategic choices into tangible successes. So we had three major achievements in the year. The first one is that on the customer side, we have a strategy that's really focused on the customer, and we achieved 3 gigawatts of new long-term agreements signed with customers. That is at a very high level that puts Zelestra in really a group of a few companies that are at this volume of growth. With these 3 gigawatts, we're now a company that has 7 gigawatts of contracted projects. And if you go back just in 2023, this number was 1 gigawatt. So we went from 1 to 7 gigawatts in the space of 2.5 years. That's the first. The second thing we achieved is we proved that we could transform Zelestra into a multi-technology company and that this was a competitive advantage. So we did gigawatts of solar, which is our bread and butter, but we also expanded into other technologies. So we signed the very first hybrid solar and storage PPA in the history of Spain. That's a project Trujillo with 200 megawatts of solar and 400 megawatt hours of battery. No one had ever signed a hybrid contract in Spain. We were the first. The second one is we signed a long-term agreement with BKW in Italy for a 2 gigawatt hour project called Massa Fiscalia, which is the largest authorized storage project in Italy. And lastly, we broke ground. We started construction on the first wind project in the history of the company in India. So we went from solar to hybrids with storage to standalone storage to wind. And the third one I would say is we made a very significant strategic decision to focus on US and Europe going forwards. So we've had tremendous success in Latin America and in India. And we have proven through these past years how Zelestra can create value in these geographies. But now we're at the stage of monetizing on the value that we created in those geographies and really focused on a new Zelestra that will be US and Europe focused going forwards. We really want to achieve 4 big things. One is on the growth side, which is we have grown tremendously. I mean, we went from a company with 1 gigawatt of projects contracted to 7 gigawatts between 2023 and now. Next year, we want to do another 2.7 gigawatts. So will take us close to 10 gigawatts for the whole portfolio. And these 2.7 gigawatts in US and Europe. So we really want US and Europe focus, which is a challenge for us. And here it's cementing the strategic relationships that we already have with these customers, right? We have announced contracts with Meta, with Tesla, with Microsoft, BKW, EDP, cementing these strategic relationships that we have with partners, leading to even more growth. So that's the growth side. The second one is execution, because behind this growth, behind signing PPAs, we need to deliver projects on time and on budget. If you look at our entire construction portfolio, all our projects are meeting the target returns that we had expected and the timelines. So this execution is really going flawlessly. We need to continue that. So by the end of 26, we want to have in US and Europe a 2.5 gigawatt portfolio of projects that are in operations or construction. That puts us as a very big player already in these developed markets. So the second one is execution. The third one is really the continuing the multi-technology journey. So we want to have at least about 3 gigawatt hours of energy storage projects that are starting construction and probably 1 major wind project. So that's the third one. And the fourth one is now that we really made a strategic shift towards US and Europe, we have markets that are incipient or where our growth is starting, which is Italy and Germany. So for each of these two, 2026 is the year that we want to make them reach scale, meaning each of these countries has to be a gigawatt level market for Zelestra. And we had structured the company around major executive teams for each of these business units. Each one has a CEO, a CFO, COO to achieve this scale. So for Italy and Germany, that would be the goal for Zelestra next year to reach this scale. And then at the end of the year, you know, if I could sum up 2025 in one word, it was a year where strategic choices proved to be very successful in execution. the things that we had decided to pursue proved very well in execution. So now we laid this foundation. 2026 will be the year that we deliver on this foundation that we have built and actually ramp up the construction portfolio of Zelestra to really this high level.